So we have the recount that's been squashed, but it did show a few problems with some issues with the ballots in Detroit. More than half of half of Detroit's ballots could not be recounted because things didn't work out. My problem is the news of some of the boxes that they thought were recountable. They had one that was marked for 350 ballots. The stamp said 350 ballots. The log said 350 ballots. And when they opened it up, there was exactly 50. And the vote showed 6 times more than what it had, as well as the vote equals 6 times more.
But somebody had counted those 50 votes
6 times.
6 times,
yeah,
right?
Which gave 600% more votes to Hillary.
Yeah.
So we know that this problem's existing, and it's not just in Detroit. I see the problems happening all over like this. People real curious on if the people running the elections are not somehow messing with the vote. And this concern goes back not just to this election, but let's go back to 2008, 2012. The problem is you can't hack the machines, and you can't hack the paper ballot, but you can have those running the elections stuff the ballot box afterwards. and that is a real concern.
Yes, that's what I'm saying about voter fraud.
Yeah, it's...
that's the real thing. And talk about hacking. I mean, what could they change the outcome of the election or change votes by hacking into the system?
Hacking? No. Our Michigan system, the only way Michigan can get hacked is by the people actually running the elections, and that afterwards they can stuff the ballot box. And we're seeing some of this possibly in Detroit. Yeah. And I have to sit there and think we have people in office such as Senator Colbeck who is actually trying to force an investigation, not a recount. A recount's not going to change anything, and a recount will not change the fraud that can happen in an election in Michigan. What needs to be done is a full audit of the election, not just this election, but a full audit of how we do elections, including finding a way to purge the roll.
Now, would there be a need for legitimate voter ID? That's what I think will stop that.
I think a lot of people are missing the boat when it comes to this voter ID. Right now, we have the NAACP crying about it. We have the UC, the lawyers, the liberal lawyers crying about it. And they all have voter registration, right? They had to go down there. Yeah. Where do you go to get a voter's registration? You go to Secretary of State, right? The same place where they have a camera right there. They got a camera where you go in and get your driver's license. They take your picture and they put it on your driver's license, right? Right. So when you register to vote, get your picture taken and have your picture put out on your voter registration, and have to show your voter registration when you're there. Why not? It's simple. Yes. You're right in there. You're signing for your voter registration. What this will stop, though, is me coming to your house and saying, hello, Mr. Stargell, are you registered to vote? No. Here, let me register for you. And you fill in everything, and then you leave, and then you sign his name for you. So now your signature, my signature, matches the card as you. Yeah. Now I am capable to vote for you. And I think going around and filling out registration to vote this way should be illegal because it does open up for fraud. But I think you go into the Secretary of State, you register to vote, you get your picture taken, and you have it put on your voter registration. I also am very much for renewing voter registration.
Yeah, me too.
You have to renew your driver's license, right?
That's exactly
if you want to keep driving, if you want to keep that right to drive, you have to renew that. If you want to keep your right to vote, you just go in there and you register to vote. And you have to renew your voter registration, every 4 years, 6 years? Put a number on it. So any number you want on it, really. Yeah. Just so after a while, if you don't renew it, it falls off the roll. Right. Instead of sitting there and having a lot of people that are on the roll that are dead, unable to vote. And let me tell you, the U of M, and I will sit there and say it with surety, and I can prove it, sits there, has students that go in and get their driver's license that are from out of the country. They register, or they get the driver's license, and at the same time, they are registered to vote. And I know one person that was in this country as a student who left here and was panicked because he received his voter registration in the mail giving him the right to vote. He says, I can't vote. What do I do? So we've got to make it put your picture on the voter registration and have it fall off the roll after so long. You have to renew it.
But it does make sense. And the only reason why it doesn't make sense to the other side is they want that a little bit of doubt to be in there. So whenever there's an election, there's always a bunch of set-asides that have to be looked at for 10 days, up to 10 days, and all of that nonsense.
Hey, we've got Ed on line 1. Ed wants to talk about voter fraud, which is a good thing. That's the subject of today so far. How's it going, Ed?
What a coincidence. Here, you guys are talking about voter fraud, and I want to call about voter fraud.
Hey, it works out that way sometimes. Guys. You having a good day, Ed?
So, I'm at work.
Yeah.
And a lot peeped on me last minute, so no.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was going to ask you if you had all your Christmas shopping done, but since you went into work on a day off, I'm assuming you're still trying to make more money for Christmas.
No, I'm salary. I got stuff dumped on me yesterday last minute. But I'm on the top side of the white stuff. You say green stuff, but I'm on the top side of the white stuff. So.
All right. Very good. So you wanted to talk about voter fraud?
Yes, sir. Not the weather, not my health. Hey, as far as the Russians, a lot's getting conflated there with were they involved with hacking the emails, or were they hacking fake news, or were they hacking voter machines themselves? And all these issues get confused in people's minds, and it's a definite strategy, I believe, on the behalf of the Democratic Party and the liberals to basically cause us to lose faith in our electoral process.
And I'm glad you brought that up, Ed, because I was thinking about that the other night when I seen all the ads on the media post is, did the Russians hack the election? And I'm thinking, are they now saying, did the Russians hack the voting machines? No. When you read the story, it's talking about the WikiLeaks, and it's talking about all these other releases, which has nothing to do with the actual elections, but it's put in the people's mind that the Russians somehow hacked our election. No,
and that's the PSYOPs warfare. That's exactly what they're trying to do, is get it in people's minds that something really sinister has happened from Russia.
And if
the fake... Go ahead.
I was going to say, and if you really look at it, if the Russians, and I still think that's a big if the Russians hacked the email of the DNC, if they did, and they released that, they did not hack the elections. They hacked the DNC, and they put the information out on it. If the Russians did that. Someone did. But does it really matter who it did? They put the information out there. It was true, and no one denied. No one denied that it was the truth.
I agree with Ken that I don't care. I frankly don't care in that regard. And when it comes to the fake news, I saw a PBS article recently that showed that it was a liberal that had this big organization that was generating all these fake news stories for Facebook.
Yeah,
and
I think honestly, I think doing it. As much as they blamed the conservatives for putting that fake news, most of the fake news I seen put out there was against the Republicans, right since the beginning of the primary.
Now, I want before you got to go to break, I want to bring up that by law, every Michigan voter must present picture ID at the polls or sign an affidavit attesting that he or she is not in possession of picture ID. That's from the Secretary of State's website.
Yeah, here's the problem. Here's the problem I have with that.
Our state house passed the voter ID bill.
Yep. And the only thing, the voter ID bill that they just passed says if you sign that affidavit saying you don't have your ID with you, you have got to present it within 10 days.
Yeah.
And here's the problem, because a lot of people are signing those affidavits now. Their ballot then goes right into the mix, and you never see them again.
That's right.
And they jump to another poll. They're either that or they're fraud right off the bat, or they precinct cop.
Or it does like
the big fraud thing wasn't whether somebody had an ID or not. The big fraud was they were passing it through the stupid machine 6 times.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Hey, we're coming up on that hard break. Thanks for your call, Ed. Right. Have a blessed day.
Have a great weekend. Bye.
People are always on the go, driving to work, running errands. How do they keep informed? They listen to Wham Talk 1600 just like you. If you're a business owner, your message can reach these people wherever their travels take them. People tune to Wham Radio for the latest issues, discussed by hosts like Joe Pags, Fayron X, and Dana Lesh. And they'll stay tuned for your message as well. Call 734-971-1600 today and advertise your business with Wham Radio and whamradio.com. Whamradio.com.
Fox News Radio, I'm Pat O'Neill. President-elect Trump said to be making progress in filling out his cabinet, meeting a second time today with the Secretary of State possibility, ExxonMobil Chairman Rex Tillerson.
Rex Tillerson is now considered the front runner by many for this position. The two met on Tuesday, and really he's been the CEO of Exxon since 2006. He has no diplomatic experience, but some point to the fact that he can bring his executive leadership to the role.
Fox's Brian Eunice. Gas prices could edge higher soon. OPEC has persuaded 11 non-OPEC nations to reduce their oil output after the cartel's decision to cut production. NASA set to launch 8 small satellites Monday to monitor cyclones and hurricanes in the tropics.
The combined government and contractor launch team is prepared and excited to launch this important constellation of weather satellites.
Launch Director Tim Dunn says each small satellite is just a bit bigger than a piece of carry-on luggage. Fox News. We report, you decide.
It's time now for Wham Talk 1600's Community Calendar with Brandon Drake.
Save money, save water, and reduce your stormwater bill with a rain barrel. A rain barrel collects and stores rainwater from roof areas that would otherwise be lost as runoff to storm drains and streams, and water stored in a rain barrel can be used for watering flowers, gardens, trees, and shrubs, rinsing tools or muddy boots, and more. Use of rain barrels can also save you money. The Washtenaw County Conservation District offers rain barrels for sale, which are made from recycled food-grade plastic barrels. They are 55 gallons in size and come in black, gray, and terracotta colors. Support risers for the barrels and downspout diverters are also available. Also available are tumbling composters made from recycled food-grade plastic 55-gallon barrels. Rain barrels and composters are available year-round and can make great gifts for gardeners. Additional information about both the rain barrels and composters is available at the Conservation District Office, 7203 Jackson Road in Ann Arbor, or visit the website washtenaw.cd.org or call 734-761-6721, extension 5. Family Life Services Clinic and Pregnancy Center, 2950 Packard Road in Ypsilanti, is in need of diapers at the center to give to clients who cannot afford them. To learn more about the Family Life Services Clinic and Pregnancy Center, including drop-off hours for diapers, call 734-434-3088 or visit women-helping-women.net.
You've been listening to the Wham Community Calendar. To have your event publicized, email community@whamradio.com or write to Brandon Drake, COWAAM, 4230 Packard Road, Ann Arbor, 48108. Wham Talk 1600. In touch with your community.
A unique toy store, Muriel's Dollhouse and Toy Cottage, is in downtown Plymouth.
Muriel's has modern and traditional toys for everyone on your list. Toddler toys, Carol dolls, lifelike baby dolls, and dollhouses. Melissa and Doug, Playmobil, Magformers, Madame Alexander, and Steiff. Also Catholic gifts and more.
Holiday discounts from now until Christmas. Muriel's Dollhouse and Toy Cottage, 824 Penniman in downtown Plymouth.
Louder with Crowder.
Well, guess what? When you never ever work with anyone from the other side and you paint them as villains, now they have a majority. And what's Obama's legacy? Gone. Gone! Within the first 100 days of a Donald Trump presidency. John Nolte wrote about this. You can't be an ass like Barack Obama your entire presidency.
Don't miss Louder with Crowder, 6 a.m. Sundays on Wham.
You're listening to The Drift on Wham Talk 1600. Join in the conversation at 734-822-1600. Now, back to your host, Gary Wellings.
And we're back. Hey, just a little message from my wife out there. just to fill everyone else in what's going on in my personal life here. Woke up this morning, the supply line in the tank to our toilet was just leaking all over the place. So we had the serious water problem in our bathroom, and we're trying to figure out how to do it.